Welcome to Vigya, and Astrology. Today's evening, we have brought to you something very different. This is something I think everybody will love, and it is out of the box live. Sir, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, everybody.
Sir, everybody is asking me ki what will be different about the 300 yogas that sir is teaching and the 300 yogas book that sir, of course, sir, V.V. Ramanji has written. So people have got confused with that. So that will
It's
be
in
my
fact,
first question to you today.
it's not actually 300. It might be more, and it will not be very much of Raman's yoga. It'll be totally different. Like I said, the yogas from one particular book of Jataka Yoga Valli is totally very different yogas that will come. We'll be using a lot of Jamini yogas with V.V. Raman has never done. We'll be doing, and there are a lot of misconceptions about yogas. How to use it, many people do not know, and which are the most important yogas, which is the order which should be used. It will be presented very nicely. We'll remove a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings about many yogas. Even as we talk, I'll explain to you what are the yogas which needs to be understood properly.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sir,
tell
was
me.
I mute all the time?
No, just no, man, just no.
Okay. Huh. Sorry. Sir, about the yogas, just so that people know, it is in Sanskrit, it means yuja. That is a combination of or coming together of at least two things together. A planet in a house or a sign or two planets combination. This is what is the yoga. Sir, what is your favorite yoga?
A very difficult question after going through actually 1,000 yogas. I was thinking, oh, what is it? If I can tell you, I think I will not give very complicated yoga, Sada. I will give a very simple yoga. I think benefics in Kendras and malefics in Upachaya. I think this is the best, simplest, when you analyze a chart. The more benefics are there in a Kendra and more malefics in Upachaya, I think is the most easiest to understand a chart. There are a lot of yogas, very interesting yogas, but I think this one is the most prime, simple yogas. I also like Vasmadi yoga. Vasmadi yoga is benefics in 3, 6, 10, and 11, but I've seen benefics or malefics in 3, 6, 10, 11 being very successful. Most of the celebrities have just a planet in 3, 6, 10, 11. It's extremely very special. You have only benefics, but it's very difficult for anybody to have.
And the best Dhan yoga you have seen working in charts.
Okay. Actually, the basic of Dhan yoga is second and 11th Lord conjoining with 5 and 9. So second Lord and 9, on fifth Lord and 11, these conjunctions. But my favorite is one particular Dhan yoga called Dhana Akarshan yoga. This is my favorite. Dhana Akarshan is Lagna Lord in the 11th, 11th Lord in the 9th, 9th Lord in the 7th, 7th Lord in the 5th, 5th Lord in the 3rd, 3rd Lord in Lagna. See, all this cannot happen in a single chart, but at least 3-4 points. That is, the 11th from a particular bhava is supposed to be gainful for that particular bhava. So at least anybody has 2 or 3 points. In case somebody has all that, it is fantastic. But I've yet to see a chart. But I've seen many charts with Lagna Lord in 11th or 11th Lord in 9 or 9th Lord in 7. 9th Lord in 7th is one of the biggest, I will say, Bhakya Dana Yoga. So you just have 2-3 points itself is good enough. This is called Dana Akarshan.
Ninth Lord in seventh house does that also mean that the Bhagya will rise after marriage or something?
Yes. Definitely. It will come through a relationship or from a marriage. It will come.
Or with the partnership.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. See, already the 7th is 10th from the 10th.
Correct.
And the 7th is also 11th from the 9th. So somewhere our Bhakya and what is a marriage and relationship goes together. A proper relationship can improve a profession and a bhakya together. So important is 7th in coming to Dana Yoga.
So, which can be your favorite Rajyog?
Again, if I have to speak about generally the basics of Raja Yoga is 5 and 9 lords, Kona lord joining with the Kendra lord. So this is the basic. Any yoga, most of the Raja Yoga, so it will come down to like the Dharmakarma of the yoga, the 9th lord and the 10,000 or a Parivartana between. This is the usual thing. But my favorite, I will put it as best will be I think moon is aspected by 2 benefics. Jupiter, Venus aspecting, associating with moon, I think is my favorite. If moon is a waxing moon, strongly placed moon in a Kendra Kona, aspected by Jupiter and Venus is one of the best aspects in the horoscope. Or Durdra. Durdra caused by only benefics. Jupiter and Venus, what is the hemming moon? A Shubhakatri for moon, a strong moon in a Kendra Kona, having Jupiter and Venus either on side, or if it is aspecting or conjunct, I think is the best. NTR has this.
We are also going to do Jamini yogas, as you have said.
Yeah.
There are many, like many will not be knowing there are Raj yogas in Jamini too. People who have learned Jamini will be knowing about this. Like if they say the Atmakarak and the Amatya are together is greatest of yoga. Or if the Atmakarak is with the 5th lord, then it becomes a yoga. Or the Dharakarak and the Putrakara coming together is a Dhan yoga. So many different types of yogas are there. We'll be learning this with you soon. And again, I will ask you the same question. Which is your favorite?
Like you said, yes, AK, AMK are the most important yogas for me. AK, AMK, and PK. Their combination will form a yoga. But one of a very special Gemini yoga is, well, I'll put it in 2 parts. The same planet aspecting Janma Lagna, Ralagna, Gatik Lagna. Or there is an own house, Swakshetra, or a Ucha Graha in Janma Lagna, Hora Lagna, and Gatik Lagna. This is one of the best Raj Yoga you can find. So at a stroke, all these 3 Lagnas have powerful planets. Not necessarily it had be Swakshetra. A very powerful planet sitting in all these three Lagnas is I think is the strongest Jain yoga.
It's called Mahayoga planet.
It's
the planet expecting something like this.
There is a Parasari version of it. It is like, what is it? When there is a strong planet in Lagna, Drekana, and Navamsa. What is it? If it is, you have an Uksha, in all the 3, you have a particular planet. That is also a very strong Raja Yoga.
Very strong.
Usually, Raja Yoga is 9th in any trinal lords combining with the Kendra lord.
Yes. So in Nadi, say suppose Nadi, we take Jupiter Saturn as a perpetual yoga called as the Karma Adhipati. That is one of the most defined yogas in Nadi.
Yeah.
So even if the ascendant is different and Jupiter and Saturn are not the lords of 9th and 10th, then also can we take Jupiter Saturn as a Karma Adhipati yoga? Because in Kalpurishtundi, they form a yoga.
It's a very special yoga. It's a very, very special yoga, but there is one slight rider in that. When each planet combination can make one particular planet weak or a planet bad. Like if Jupiter and Saturn joins together, Venus will become weak.
Venus will become weak.
There is one, this is a rule from Deva Kerala, which says Jupiter Saturn associations cancels Malavya yoga. So if it can cancel Malavya yoga itself, that is Venus in a own house or exaltation sign, if it can cancel, then imagine a Venus which is in an ordinary state. In an ordinary, Venus itself will not function. It can cancel Malavya yoga. Like each 2 planets combination can cancel one particular Panchapars yoga.
So means cancels Venus, then there will be problems in the Karak tattvas of Venus, you mean to say,
Venus will not be able to function.
function. Oh. So we should not be very happy if there is a, but sir, I have seen hundreds of charts
No,
with Jupiter.
profession, Jupiter, Saturn together, profession will be good.
Profession is very good.
Will be
Okay,
good.
okay.
But Venus will not function properly.
Ah, okay,
So
okay. Married
naturally,
life.
like, so Venus must not be become the Lagna Lord or the 10th Lord.
Ah, okay, okay. Sir, another other thing is like people are always confused. The yoga does exist in the ascendant chart or the D1 chart, but do the yogas also are formed in the Varga charts?
Yes, all the yogas which you are learning is also applied in the Varga charts. In fact, in the D1 chart, it has a different aspect. In fact, there is something called Vaishikamsa. Vaishikamsa means a planet is, let's say a planet is like, let's say Pancha Mahapurusha Yoga. A planet, is in a Kendra in his own sign or exaltation. But if in case it is Nietzsche in our in a Navamsa chart, it is cancelled. So in a Vaishikamsa is when a particular planet gets Vargotama, especially in its own or exaltation sign, in many in the shortest Vargas, it becomes more and more strong. So it is very, very clear the Varga becomes very important. Or I will tell you another thing. A single planet, a strong planet, okay, let's say AK. AK sitting in D1 Lagna, I mean D9 Lagna or D10 Lagna is one of the very strong Rajayogas. In the particular desa of a AK or ANK sitting in D9 or D10 will give very, very good results. Next will be if the AK ANK is sitting in the 10th house. So it will give much better results than it is sitting in the in D1 chart. And especially when you want to see, Jamini gives all the yogas from Karagamsa, and Karagamsa is only from Navamsa. He's saying every rule see it from the Karagamsa Lagna. In the D1 chart, he asks it to see it from the AK and from the Arudha.
So what? Because people always are saying we cannot take aspects in Varga charts, there is no such rule. Then if we don't even take aspects, then how are yogas? That was
No,
a big question in many people's mind.
see, if you want, definitely a Rasi aspect is always there. You can always use the Rasi aspect. I think what I say, you can use the planetary aspects. My experience, you can use planetary aspects. It works. In many horoscopes, which I've seen, like simple rule for an advocate role, we have done in the profession course. For being an advocate, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars must aspect the 10th house. You will see in planetary aspects, it happening not only in D1, it is happening in D9, it is also there in D10. You can check it up and see. Any advocate's chart, this will apply in D1. It will happen with Rasi, not Rasi aspect, Graha aspect will be there. So this I've tested some standard rules. So this way it clearly works. Some people think, no, it is imaginary, but I've seen when checking a profession, well, what is it, the planet aspects with the Graha, a planetary aspect, not Rasi aspects. Like for a teacher, Jupiter, Mercury must connect to the 10th house by aspect or placement. I've seen Jupiter, Mercury having a planetary aspects on the 10th house for most of the teachers in D9 and D10. So that way we can infer and refer. It's not logic. We can easily, use these rules and check up whether aspects are there in a divisional chart.
No, all the great like VP girls or Dinesh sir, for you, I have learned the Varga charts from all you three people. All of you take aspects. But this was just a question that many people come and put on the YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
So,
in practice,
and,
I've seen it works.
and there is also a Vipreeth Rajyoga, like the Dustana lords in Dustana houses becomes a Raj Yoga. And many people will say, I have this yoga in my chart, but nothing great is happening. How does it become a Raj Yoga and everything? So I think there are some riders for this
No,
Vipreeth Raj.
see, first, actually, only 2 books mentions about Vipreeth Rajyog. It is only Uttrakala Mitra and Paladipika mentioned. Parasar does not mention. No other book mentions. In fact, even Parasar questions about. But usual what Baladipika mentioned is 6th, 8th, 12th Lord in 6, 8, 12 houses. Not in the same house. 6th Lord, not in the 6th house. 6th Lord in the 8th, 8th Lord in the 6th, or 12th Lord in the 6th is supposed to be a Vipreeth Rajyoga. Especially if two of them are conjoined or in mutual aspect, it is a very big yoga. But definitely one of them must not be a trinal Lord.
Must not be with
Be
the trinal.
no, must not be a trinal Lord, must not be conjoined with another benefic.
Achha.
But
Then this yoga.
but I will tell you a particular Vipreeth Rajyoga which will definitely work is a Neecha planet in 6, 8, 12. Especially if the Neecha planet is a 6, 8, 12th Lord and also in the 6, 8, 12, it will work. But actually there are two more roles I can also say. I will take it as a separate session, like a Tidhi Sunya planet, a Tidhi Sunya Baba, when a malefic sits there, 6, 8, 12, a Rahu sits there, it is Viparita Rajya.
Tithi Shunya.
Or a house which is Avayogi, a sign which becomes Avayogi. When you have a malefic, an Avayogi falls in 6, 8, 12 houses, or a 6, 8, 12, or a Neecha planet sits in Avayogi, that is a Viparita Rajya.
It's like negative killing the negative.
There are a lot of versions. The usual traditional Harsha, Vimala, and Sarla yogas are not mentioned by Parasar. Or most of the classics, it is only Mantreshwar which mentions it. And Uttra Kalamitra also mentions. I think very, very unique yogas are there in Baladipika. The best. I think he's the modern person who have brought out the very different versions of yogas.
And sir, what do you think about a Parivartan yoga?
Okay. Again, this is there in the classics. And again, Parivartana is, everybody thinks I have Parivartana, it is very. Again, Parivartana, the classics mentioned in 3 ways. Third Lord with the rest of the Bhava planets.
Third Lord.
Only third Lord with the rest of the Bhava planets.
Okay.
Third Lord with the rest of the Bhava planets. Dusthana Lord with the rest of the planets. 6, 8, 12 Lords having a Parivartana between 6, 8, and 12 is a Vipreeth Rajyoga. Okay, but a 6, 8 Dusthana Lord, Parivartana with any other Bhava is a bad, a negative. But a Kendra, a Vipreeth Rajyoga between a Kendra, Kona, 2 and 11 houses will be very good. A Rajyoga. It's a very, very powerful point. It is very, very good. It is ordinary when the third Lord, has a Parivartana with any of the houses, just an ordinary yoga. But if a Kendra and Kona has a Parivartana, it is a Raja Yoga. But if the 6, 8, 12 Lords have as a Parivartana with any of the Bhava, it will give negative results. But if the 6, 8, 12 Lords has a Parivartana with only 6, 8, 12 Lords, it is a Vipreeth Raja.
Parivartana Vipreeth Raja.
Yeah.
Sir, any yoga that is most misunderstood?
Gajkesari Yoga.
Yes.
Everybody thinks Gajkesari Yoga is Jupiter in Kendra from the moon. That is called Kesari Yoga. Gajkesari Yoga is you need one more benefic to aspect the moon. So if it is Graha aspect, it naturally Venus or Mercury must be in the 7th. Or if it is a Rasi aspect, they can be anywhere else. So even Parasar, most of the books makes it very, very clear. There is one more, apart from moon and must be waxing, Jupiter and moon must be strong. After Jupiter being strong, they are in mutual kendras. And there is one more planet which must aspect moon. Then Gajkesari Yoga. And again, one more most confused yoga is Pancha Mahapurusha Yoga. In fact, in Parasara does not mention it as a Raja Yoga. It comes under the miscellaneous yogas. So people think Pancha Mahapurusha Yoga is a Raja Yoga. But one thing, it is very difficult for anybody to have a Pancha Mahapurusha. Anybody can have one exaltation in a Kendra. Pancha Purusha Yoga is these 5 planets except Sun and Moon, Rahu, Ketu in a Kendra forms a Pancha Mahapurusha. But there are so many riders are there. I will take a separate session for that. Only if these rules are there, Pancha Mahapurusha will work. I will tell you one thing which will never work. when the benefics form, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, if they are in Kendradipatya dosha, this Panchapursha will not work. So for all the dual signs, it will not work. So in the fourth and exaltation signs will work, but in the Swakshetra, they will have to fall in the fourth, seventh, or 10th house. A benefic in owning 4, 7, 10 in the same house, it will never. I have so many examples. That's like in my state, Jayalalitha she's Mithuna Lagna with 7th house Jupiter in its own house. So it is a Hamsa Yoga. She never got married. Or the previous chief minister, he is Kanya Lagna with Moon and Jupiter in the 7th house. So another Hamsa Yoga in the 7th house. And what I say, he was a widow. And I think he was married thrice with Jupiter, Moon in the 7th house. Hamsa Yoga. So there are certain rules. It will not work. It can work against in reverse. I think I will take Panchama Purusha as a separate session with a lot of example charts to tell when it will work. The most misunderstood yoga. There are many rules to it. When it will actually work.
Yes, actually reading about yogas in books like this forms. One thing is what I find it's so difficult is learning about so many yogas. That's okay, but remembering so many yogas.
No, I see,
This
see.
is
You don't need to remember the yogas. You just remember concept. What actually makes a yoga? So that if you just remember even 25, 30 yogas, what constitutes a yoga? What is the underlying core forming a
for
yoga? It is very important. Like for a Dana yoga, it is a simple rule. Second and 2, 11, 5 and 9 combination by malefics, benefics. This is a Adana yoga. This is what Adana yoga will form. Let's say the second lord in the 9th house, or a Raja yoga is again the same 9th and 10th lord in a Kendra.
Okay.
In the Kendra is a Raja yoga.
No, these are simple, but when I was learning astrology, I remember my teacher taught me Navas yogas. Now, if I go through my books, I have so many yogas, 1800 yogas of Navas yogas.
Yeah.
Forming a shape, forming a parrot, forming
Anapasa
a
yogas. Yeah.
Akriti yogas and different kind. Even Navas yogas are again 4 kinds. So that's where then I think Matlab, I couldn't remember all that, but I still have the
No,
notes.
but you just need to understand the concept of how a Navasa
Yeah,
yoga forms. Like, is a yoga better when most of the planets are sitting in 2, 3 houses? Or if the yoga is better if it is spread out in many houses? See, this is the understanding of Navasa. If all the 7 planets are sitting in 1 house or in 2 house or 3 house, will the yoga work better? Or if it is separate, is it better?
they will work.
So this
Correct.
formation 1 to 4, 4 to 7, 7 to 10, 10 to 12, this is what each has a separate meaning and prediction of how a person's life, when it will happen. So that's the understanding of an Abhasaya. So it's very important before we go into yogas, what is the basic pattern? We need to understand the pattern first.
Sir, and whenever we do consultations and everything, the most first question nowadays I'm getting is, ma'am, do I even have wealth yogas in my chart? Or is it only Daridra yogas? And then I ask them, "Oh, why do you ask me this question? Ma'am, really, we are so tense about the money part in our lives, not having enough. We cannot even do everyday expenses and everything. So, what is the worst kind of Daridra yoga that can be seen?
See,
Or in
generally, if 2, 11, 5, and 9 are all weak, it can be a worse than yoga. But I will give you one more Daritra yoga. When Lagna and the moon sign is not associated with a single planet. See, there is a yoga
any
which
planet?
not a planet, single planet is not associate aspect or conjunction. See, there is a yoga which says when all 7 planets aspect Lagna and the moon, it's a Raja yoga. So it means even if it is a benefic, even if it is a malefic, when most of the planets aspecting the Lagna and the moon is supposed to be good for health, it's supposed to be good for longevity, it's supposed to strengthen the chart. Now the reverse is, and our chart does not have any planet aspecting the Lagna of the moon. Either is it no planet sitting in Lagna or no planet is aspecting the Lagna. So what happens? It's bereft of any strength. So you might have many planets in fifth house, fourth house sitting on everything, but there is not a single planet, associating with the Lagna or the moon. So that can cancel all the yogas and the horoscope. It will just be there and you will not be able to enjoy. So I think more than the second and 11th Lord Neechar or the fifth, 5 and 9 and 6, 8, 12 houses, I think a planet of just Lagna, the moon, unaspected by any planet, can be the worst factor.
So do you count Rahu Ketu?
Usually what the classic says is Neecha moon in Amavasa, aspected by two malefics. Because the classics always think this is the worst yoga. Like there is one thing called Sarpashirisha. Say, or Cobra said, sun and moon sitting in Anuradha in the second and third pada. In the third and fourth pada, if it is sitting. So what happens in the third pada, Surya sits, Surya in Virchika will be Neecha and Navamsa. In the fourth pada, moon is already Neecha. It will be also Neecha and Navamsa. It is already also very close to Amavasa. So moon without digits in Scorpio, in Neecha in Rasi and Navamsa. And it is called Sarp. It is, the person says it is poverty, short life, and diseased. Use one very, it's called Sarpashirsha.
Sarpashirsha yoga.
It's not yoga, it's called Sarpashirsha.
Sarpashirsha.
Cobra said.
Yeah, okay. Sir, when you say that moon does not have any aspect, do we count Rahu Ketu sitting with them together and that they have a planet with them, or you exclude
without
Rahu Ketu?
you exclude Rahu Ketu.
Achha, you should have the
the
five
7 planets. The 7 planets. Most of the yogas we will say it will not involve Rahu Ketu.
Achha.
Either in the Lona yogas, Surya yogas, most of it will not involve Rahu Ketu.
And one of the most, you can say, our yoga for winning over enemies, which is the...
okay. I will say Nietzsche planet in the 6th house, or the 6th Lord Nietzsche and the 10th Lord very strong in exaltation. If anybody has a weak 6th house and a strong 10th house, this person will always have victory in everything. So he needs to have a strong 10th house and a weak. So some classic to make you understand. It's not exactly a 6th Lord Nietzsche and 10th Lord exalted. That very few people have a weak 6th house and a strong 10th house. This person will be always successful.
For Aquarius, ascendant Mars becomes Nietzsche in the 6th, and it is the Lord of the 10th house. How do you come with that?
No. I think that's an exception, because the 10th Lord itself becomes weak in the 6th house. So the 10th Lord
Mars Nietzsche also.
No, it is a very different statement, because Mars, the 10th Lord goes to the 6th house and Nietzsche, and in the 12th house, it becomes exalted. So it is a pattern which tries to say even when they are at their best, they are at a loss. Even if they surrender, they are not going to gain anything. Okay, that's the meaning for a Kumbha Lagna. Where the 10th Lord gets Nietzsche and Ucha will be the hint. Where is the success lying in that person's horoscope? Find out where the 10th Lord is going to get exalted.
10th Lord is
exalted. That is where he will get success. That is the route he will get success. And where it will get Nietzsche, which Bhava will get Nietzsche, it is where he will have to be very, very careful about.
Are we going to learn about yogas formed by nakshatras or anything related to nakshatras?
See, definitely, but let's say a particular yoga like Dharma Karmadipiti yoga, a combination of 9th and 10th Lord in a particular bhava. Let's say it is in a 10th bhava, right, in a 5th bhava. But there are 3 nakshatras there. Does the Dharma Karmadipiti yoga be in any nakshatra give the same effect? No. A particular planet a combination sitting in a nakshatra can change the whole equation. It is very, very important. Certain, like Dhruva nakshatra, Sthira nakshatra. a planet, a yoga forming in Rohini Nakshatra, a yoga forming in Pushya Nakshatra, a yoga forming in Dhanishta Nakshatra, a yoga forming in Revati Nakshatra. Be very, very special. But at the same time, a yoga forming in Aridra, a yoga forming in Aslesha, a yoga forming in Jeshta, or yoga forming in Mula, or yoga forming in Purabhadra will be totally different. Even a very, very big yoga will not, even very powerfully placed, will not give good results. A simple Gajkesari yoga, Moon, Jupiter in Rohini will give fantastic results. Or in Pushya, it will give fantastic results. But the same combination, if it falls in Mula, let's say usually the best combination is Moon or Venus, or Moon or Jupiter combined together. But if Moon and Venus combines in Mula, it will never give good results. In Mula, the yoga is, it is very, very difficult to have any Raja Yogas. And certain nakshatras will not give Raja Yogas or Dana Yogas. Certain nakshatras, even a simple planet sitting down there, even a malefic sitting down there will give very good yoga. So it is very important to understand nakshatras, which nakshatras will bring out Dana Yoga, which nakshatras will bring out the Raja Yoga. So simple, a single, in fact, you don't need in a good nakshatra, you don't need two planets. Just a single planet is enough. Like, Rohini Shataka. Saturn and Rohini is very bad for finance.
It's very bad for
Finance.
finance.
The Dasharada Sloka was formed because of this. When Rohini was supposed to transit, it was supposed to be bad for the whole world.
Mm.
So Dasharada goes and prays to Saturn and says, please don't torment the world. And he what he says, extempo creates a particular stotra. Until today, that particular stotra is supposed to be a remedy for an afflicted Saturn. Dasarada stotra. So these planets, Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, sitting in certain nakshatra can be very, very bad for wealth. And Moon, Jupiter, and Venus sitting in certain nakshatra itself without any planetary combination itself can be very good. And especially if it is 2, 11, and 5, and 9 in certain nakshatras can give very good wealth. And if they combine with another planet, it can be very special.
When we first used to take out printouts of our kundli, it was just we will just type in our birth dates and everything, and such a big report will come with so many yogas. You are having this Raj Yoga, you are having this Raj Yoga.
I think most
and
of
then
the software brings out, no?
Software, yes. So, and these Raj Yogas don't fructify. Many of them get a bang. So, what is your definition of a bang of the Raj Yoga?
No, see, all these yogas are there, but what is it? Will they function? It is very, very important. So the most important thing is if the Lagna is weak, Moon is weak, no Raja Yoga will work.
No Raj Yoga.
No Raja Yoga will form in the Gandhanda sides.
Gandha.
29th degree, what is it? The end of on what we say. Let's say Dharma Krabda Yoga forming in the 29th degree of any sign, it will not. What is it? It is very important. What is it? A planet is combust, it will not form. Or a horoscope where Lagna is extremely very big. Lagna Lord is in the 8th house in combustion, and Moon is Neecha, and it is Amavasa, very close to Amavasa. Let's say you have some 10, 25 yogas after, it will never work. What is it? It will all be there. It will just be there, but it will now fructify. So it is very, very important for any yoga, even Vipreeth Raja Yoga. The rule is only if the Lagna is strong, Vipreeth Raja Yoga will work. Or even this Sarla Yoga will not work if the Lagna Lord is not strong. It is very important to have a strong Lagna and strong. It is very imperative. Without a strong Lagna and strong Moon, no yoga will work. There are a lot of, as much as there are Neechbhanga, there is also Uchabhanga. The classics have not mentioned Uchabhanga, but there are many cases. Today I asked in the class, what is the combination when an Ucha Graha is there with a Neecha Graha? Does the Neecha Graha becomes Neechbhanga or the Ucha Graha becomes Uchabhanga?
What is the answer? Sir, I've seen so many answering you.
See,
And they will
meaning
come
of
up with so many things.
See, there is a rule for Neechbhanga. If
Correct.
there are 15 rules actually, 15 rules for Neechbhanga. One of the rules is if the Neecha planet is with the Ucha planet, it is But the logic is the planet which it is exalted means it is opposite to its nature, its tattva. The Ucha planet is going to be 180 degrees away from it. So if it conjoins with a planet 180, it's opposite in tattva. Like what is it? Sun gets exalted in Mesha. What is it? Which on other opposite side, it is Saturn gets exalted with opposite
Saturn.
signs. Now Saturn
Correct.
conjoins with its opposite tattva planet in a particular house. In Nietzsche, will Saturn become weak or the Saturn become strong? Saturn can cancel Sun's effect. It is a Ucha Banga. It's not a Nietzsche Banga. It is a Ucha Banga.
Ucha.
Oh.
Acha, the Nietzsche Saturn will destroy the Ucha sun, you mean?
There are many ways, like what is a particular planet conjoins with its Nietzsche sign lord. It will cancel. There are many Ucha Bangas. Like
Yeah,
let's
correct.
say Sun gets Nietzsche in Libra.
Libra.
Who's the sign lord? Shukra is the sign
Yeah,
lord. Now, if
correct.
Shukra joins with Sun,
Sun. Yes, then there is a
especially
Nietzsche.
if it joins in Mesha, it is a Ucha Banga.
Venus and Sun in
In
Mesha is Ucha
Mesha,
Banga.
it's Ucha Banga. It's just the opposite. You can put it for a
Ah,
Nietzsche Banga also. Where, let's say Saturn is Nietzsche. Saturn is Nietzsche. Where does Saturn get Ucha? Saturn gets Ucha in Libra.
Libra.
So Saturn conjoins
Mars in
Venus, conjoins Venus in
Acha.
Nietzsche, in Nietzsche Sthana.
Mhm.
It's a Nietzsche Banga. So if a Nietzsche Banga is there must be a Ucha Banga also, no?
Acha.
There are many roles for Ucha Banga and Nietzsche Banga.
Very rules. Yes, yes.
Like I told you, there is
This
a
is
logic.
very
There is a
interesting.
logic. Like when how is Malavya Yoga is cancelled? No, Jupiter and Saturn conjoins together. The Malavya Yoga is cancelled. There is a logic also why it is cancelled.
You just told Venus. It'll
No,
harm the
how come?
Venus.
No, how come Jupiter Saturn conjoined cancels Malavya Yoga?
How come, sir?
There is what is it? This is the base. This is very important. Devakarlam rule. It's very important.
It's
Why? Because where does Shukra get exalted?
Jupiter
Jupiter's
house.
house.
Spice.
Okay. So it is very important Jupiter not to become weak. If Jupiter becomes weak, the first thing which will affect will be Shukra.
Acha. So Jupiter coming in connect with Saturn becomes weak. That is what
It'll weaken Shukra.
weaken Shukra. Yes.
Because it should be simple. A weak Shukra means Shukra is also weak. A strong Shukra, Jupiter, Shukra is also strong.
Strong.
So having a strong Jupiter in the chart naturally strengthens Venus also. So there is for all the 9 planets, we have combination. 2-planet combination will strengthen the other planet. The simple rule is a planet must not conjoin with its Nietzsche lord, which which will make it weak. A planet conjoining with the Ucha lord, it is very good. So like Gajkesari yoga, no? Why Gajkesari yoga is very special, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
So
Jupiter exalts in moon.
moon side. Okay, it's very important. Why Venus also is very important is moon exalts in Shukra side.
Yes.
So that triangle must be formed. So
Triangles.
only when moon, Jupiter, Venus conjoins together, the Gajkesari yoga.
And Jupiter debilitates in Saturn sign. So therefore, Jupiter-Saturn combination will weaken Venus also.
So moon, Jupiter is combined, Shukra will become strong. Because moon gets exalted in Shukra's house.
Sure.
So a horoscope which has moon, Jupiter, and Venus combined, imagine how very good it is.
How very strong this is. Right. So, and so many of us have this any one of the Panch Mahapurusha yogas. Most of us will have at least one planet in the Kendra, which is strong. So people think, okay, this is there, this Dasha will go very nice. I think there are so many riders to this Panch Mahapurusha.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we are going to learn about them in the class.
Mm.
So, will they, this answer I should be telling myself, will they always give good results? No.
No, see, one is very, very important. As I told you, benefics in Kendra, in its own house, will not give good results. Benefics not owning a Kendra lordship, but exalted, will give good results. Panchama Upanishad, right? That's not the only two. There are many other rules. There is, if I can mention one more rule, I think it is, I think it is Baladipika, which says is, it must not be combined with luminaries. Sun and moon combined with the Panchamaha Yoga, it will cancel the work. Then there are many other rules. The nodes must not cancel, malefics must. But so there are many combinations which are there, which will easily cancel Panchamaha Yoga. A planet's in a Kendra, let's say in a Kendra, in a structure, but if it is Nicha in Navamsa, will it still be strong? But the opposite is true. A planet is Nicha, but if it is exalted in Navamsa, in a Kendra, will give very good results.
So, does a Neechbhang Rajyog becomes a Rajyog? Does
See, there are actually 15 roles for Neechbhanga. If it is just Nietzsche by one way, it will just get compensated. If it is getting compensated in many ways, it will become. But I will tell you one clear cut, it will definitely become a Nietzsche Banga Raja Yoga is. And the 6, 8, 12 Lord gets Nietzsche in the 6th, 8th, 12th house, it is clear cut Nietzsche Banga Raja. Because the usual role, a Nietzsche planet in a Kendra Kona, is Nietzsche Banga. Or its sign Lord is exalted. Or is exalted in sign light is strong in a Kendra. It will become Neechbhanga. Or simple rule, a Neecha planet exalted in Navamsa is a Neechbhanga Rajyoga. So I'll put it as two rules. A Neecha planet exalted in Navamsa, just not in a Kendra, just exalted is a Neechbhanga Rajyoga. Or the Neecha happens in the 6th, 8th, 12th house. That's also a Neechbhanga.
is there any prominent Apmrityu yoga that you can just point out on a go? This shows me up.
I think Moon week, Lagna week, and the 8th having malefics. 8th having malefics, a waning moon, very weak waning moon in 6, 8, 12 houses with malefic position. Lagna week, and we have 8th house Rahu, 8th house Ketu, 8th house Mars, any one of them or two of them. This is very clear Apmrityu Yoga. A weak Lagna, a weak moon at least, it will affect bad health only in the first 10 years or 12 years. But a weak Lagna, what is it? It will just be waiting for the bad dasa to work. What is it? So a weak Lagna with malefic in the 8th house. Always I've seen many charts. What they say, let's say Mars in the 8th house. I have a chart, I'll tell you. 24th year, this person passes away. He's Mesha Lagna with Mars Rahu in the 8th house. So moon is not strong. Moon is in the 6th house. Moon in the 6th house, Mars Rahu. During Rahu Dasa, Mars Antar Dasa, he passes away.
Any similar such, you can say, deformity yoga?
The similar thing, when the Lagna is there in the 6th or 8th house with Mars aspect. With Mars aspects or nodal conjunction with Mars. I'll give you an example. A person with just one hand is missing. Mesha Lagna with Lagna Lord in the 12th house. And there is no support. The Kendras, the other planets are not strong. It is very important for any deformity. Lagna must not be afflicted. The planet Lagna Lord going to 6, 8, 12 and being weak or associated with the malefic. So especially the deformity will happen because of Rahu Ketu Mass. See, Rahu Ketu by itself are deformed. One has no body, one has no head. So, so in Lagna Lord conjoining with Rahu Ketu in a Dusthana will be somewhere something bad missing will be in the body. It is very mild if Rahu Ketu is not there. But if it is in 6, 8, 12 with Rahu Ketu or Rahu Ketu on a trine, very sure you will have. But in case if they are strong, in 6, 8, 12, it can mean something different. Lagna Lord in the 12th, he can go abroad and live, or Lagna Lord in the 6th, very strongly placed, it becomes a doctor or an army officer. But weakly placed and afflicted, it can very clearly show Angahina. Some people will ask,
Combination,
yes, ma'am.
a combination that can nullify the Arishta yogas.
Moon aspected by 2 benefics. Strong waxing moon aspected by 2 benefics will cancel all the rajas. All the bad yogas.
Arishta.
Arishta yogas will cancel.
But Arishta yoga is mainly formed when moon is badly damaged.
So see, everything is moon. See, the results are only going to happen through moon. Whatever the affliction is, it is only going to happen through the moon.
Everything. So moon
That's
is
how
very
flows to the moon. So if the moon, whatever affliction is, that moon alone is strong, what I see will not have any problem. So it's very, very important. That's why I took the first thing, Luna yogas. Because all the yogas, it's only the Kemadruma yoga. Now, is there a planet in 2 and 12 from the moon? Or if it is not there, at least in a Kendra from the moon, or any planet is aspecting the moon. It is very important. The moon should be strongly placed because results are only going to be experienced by the moon. You have 2 planets in the 8th house, but I have an unsealed waxing moon connected with Jupiter. In fact, there is a Rajyoga which says full moon in Vargottama. Full moon exaltation in Vargottama by itself a Rajyoga. To have a full moon, to have it in Rohini Nakshatra and have it in Vargottama. Oh, it's very special. See, many people will have it. A full moon is not a problem, but a full moon or Vargottama, it's a fantastic yoga. If it's aspected by a benefic, Jupiter or Venus as aspect also associated the benefics, or a full moon in Vargottama, or if it is an exaltation and aspected, it's all one of these. Immediately you must look at the chart and understand the Rajyogas in the chart. And this will nullify any Daridra Arishta yogas, a strong.
Any yoga that cancels Daridra yogas.
Again, this is the thing. What is a good strong moon is very, very important. 5 and 9 houses are very important. You must not have any Jupiter or a benefic in 5 or 9. Auspicious moon 5 in or 9. Your Pura Punya is in the 5th and 9th house. You must not have what is it? 2 and 11 are finance houses, but the yoga comes only from the bank balance, which is there in the 5 and 9.
5.
So nice, strong 5 and 9 connecting with 2 and 11, it will become very extremely, very strong. So you have, let's say you have Saturn and Ketu in the 5 and 9. 9 sitting down with 2 and 11 not strong. It will be very bad. So it is very good to have Jupiter or Venus in the 5th or 9th house. With either the 2nd and 11th, somewhere there is a connection. 2 to 5 and 9 is the Dana Yoga of the house. It's an excellent Dana Yoga in the house.
And sir, last question for today, I think. An important Sanyasi yogas.
Okay. Generally, Sanyas yoga is formed by what the classic says is 4 planet combination with 9 strong and 10th having a benefic. This is a classical definition. They want 4 planets combination with a 9th having a strong and a 10th. But in my experience, I've seen Jupiter, Saturn, Ketu must be mutually involved. In mutual trine or a conjunction, and mutual kendras must be there. Saturn Ketu is a Langoti yoga. Or moon is with Saturn Ketu. Moon in mutual conjunction aspect or in mutual trine, it must be there. And Shukra must not be strong.
Shukra must not be strong.
Shukra must not be strong.
A classic Nangoti yoga in Nadi is Saturn, Moon.
Ketu.
Saturn, Moon,
Ketu, yeah.
Or Saturn, Mars, Ketu. One of these.
But again, if it is an exalted Shukra with Malavi Yoga sitting on, it will change. It will become a Swamiji having a big ashram. So it is very important. Somewhere Shukra is subdued. A subdued Shukra is very important.
So, but then most of the Swamijis now have a big ashram window.
No, it depends. They
Most
might,
of the Swami.
if you must look at the charts. If Shukra is weak, they attract through it, but still maybe they're detached from the whole thing. They must be detached. They must not be connected. But if it's still what I say, if they are attached, you will see a strong Shukra. Shukra must definitely not be strong. Shukra must have a Ketu connection, or Shukra might be well placed, but must be having Saturn Ketu and trying to it. So, somewhere Saturn Ketu or Jupiter must be connected to. So you will see a person's maturity with Jupiter Saturn Ketu connection or Moon Saturn Ketu connection, and how much Shukra is sublimed. It's very important. His sensuality, is it controlled? Is where is Shukra? How strong is Shukra? Sitting with Moon, Shukra with Mercury, Shukra with Rahu sitting very, very strongly placed. And let's say he has also this combination means, okay, he somewhere is a yoga brashta. He did rise up to, but he has some sensory pleasure. She is not conquered. So he will be having one side or knowledge. He'll be a lot of wisdom. He will give good lectures, but then he will be having some secret license affairs. I think 90% of the Swamijis are like.
So this brings to my mind, sir, you will be knowing about these Gujarati people. They renounce the world, they become Mahasati,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I know. Yeah. Mhm.
so some few of them, after taking that oath of becoming a Sati or uh, a Sadhu, they come back to married life, they will get married. So I think they will be having a very strong Venus in their chart
Yeah,
to bring
definitely.
them back.
No, I think they're pushing them to become a sannyasi at very, very small age. It's not of a free choice. Like in the normal Hinduism is, you need to be a
Trust the
brahmachari for 12
ashram.
years. Brahmachari
Yes.
for 12 years. Then there is
12.
another test. Once you have crossed the test of like at least 18 years, only then they'll give you sannyas. It is never direct sannyas. But in the Gujarati, what happens is, I think my friend was there. His daughter was sent sannyas. Fifth year, they have sent her to become a sannyas. Not sure whether or they must check it in the chat, whether it is there in the chat to
Ah,
become a sannyasi. Let's say she has a strong Shukra and Moon sitting down and mutual association. You send her to a sannyas and she gets, in the 20th year, she gets Shukra Dasa happening, which is sitting the 7th or 11th house. How will she become sannyasi? Somewhere you must look. You know this Shankaracharyas, no? They choose a
they
successor.
choose. Yeah, successors.
See, one is they see the chart. Then with their divine drishti, they find out whether this person is capable of doing it also. Both ways. So the horoscope is seen whether it has sannyasa yoga in the horoscope. After seeing it, they bring it to the Swamiji and say, we can choose the person. He with yoga drishti will see, yes, yes. So either one way, you need to test it. Or anybody in the normal sannyasa, you'll have to go is they'll have to go under 12 years rigorous
Yeah.
brahmacharya, and after that 6 years for sannyasa practice, and then after, if the guru feels yes this person is good, he will give sannyasa, not before that. Definitely not. Or if the Swamiji is able to see his past karma and he knows this person is very, very good, in rare conditions, I've seen people at very early ages, somebody giving sannyas.
This brings to my mind a recent incident in my like I don't know whether you know about Radha Swami people.
Yeah, yeah,
Have
I
you
know.
heard about it?
Yes, yes, yes. I have.
So in this also now there is a successor, but after the death of the
Yeah, yeah.
presiding one.
Hmm.
But now this time, just a week before, the current one has suddenly decided to resign, and he has got a successor already. He
Okay.
is also
Hmm.
there, but then he has appointed a successor immediately. From today, he is going to be the Babaji of the whole set. So this has never happened before. So what can be the reason for that? He suddenly he has just stepped aside and giving the reins to someone else.
Maybe he's running a bad period. He's able to see through his divine drishti. So he just moves off just for the larger good of the community. Because I remember the Radha Swamiji from Paul Brunton's book, Search in Secret India, where Paul Brunton says this person is visibly God. He moves with him. There's a whole chapter on Radha Swamiji in Paul Brunton's book, Search in Secret India. So he's so
Yes, they have
amazed. He's so amazed by Radha Swamiji. He said, what is it? I don't know what happened to the other followers, but he says Radha Swamiji is as he meets many people, Shankaracharya, Ramana, many people. See, he holds Radha Swamiji as very great esteem. So it is a very, very good following. So I think they do a lot of meditation. And I think they don't follow any of
lots
the
of
Hindu customs also.
meditation and lots of seva. Whatever properties that Radha Swami has is not built by like workers.
Mm.
It's by people who are
People.
following it. They are rich people that go for that satsang and they go and give seva every week, twice a week,
No,
once a week.
no, I know a
And
lot because I have a lot of clients. And the
mm,
problem is I can't tell them any remedial measures because they will not do any
they
normal
will not,
ritual
yes.
remedial measures.
Babaji, I said, don't do all this. They
Mm.
don't even keep
Oh,
deities at
yeah,
home,
no
no
diabetes.
idols. And many of them also not following like rituals after the death. Like they will say, no, Babaji says this is part of it. Whatever they may be saying, I don't know. But it was so surprising. This has never happened before. The successor only comes in after the previous one is gone.
Or it
But
could
this time,
be either what I say, he must have seen something happening, like he's going through a bad period, must be a thing, or he's having a bad period, so he has to take such a decision. It should be something
that
like
was
that.
such a wonderful session, and it is one of the kind. Thank you for answering so many questions. I hope people like this session. I wish I could put it in the podcast, but I don't think so. This format will go in the podcast. And but still, it is a great session. We will be having a session tomorrow at 11, which is only for the people who take the course. The course is happening on 6th and 13th of October. Sorry, October. Please do join to learn the yogas correctly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
People who have not subscribed to our channel, please go and subscribe because my WhatsApp is not allowing to send links now. Please do subscribe and press the bell. Thank you so much.